Hey, how's it going, guys? It's your boy, and well, today, Article 11 and Article 13 passed in the EU, and well, if you're living in Europe, if you're part of the EU, well, you can kiss goodbye to those freedoms that they're about to remove from you. For those of you who don't understand what Article 11 and Article 13 are, let me just give you a brief rundown. Article 11 is an attempt by the EU to force Google and other types of tech companies like YouTube and Facebook and Twitter to pay copyright owners money when they link articles and things like that on their platforms. This has been something that's been attempted in, I think, Germany, and I know it's been happening in Spain. And what happens is that these companies simply move out of these countries and don't go there anymore. They don't use them, they don't do anything, they just move. So it doesn't work. These companies will not be taxed. So what you'll see is the big tech firms will simply just leave Europe and stick to North America and other countries around the world that don't have these stupid laws. Article 13, however, is even worse, where it's basically requiring all these tech firms, big to small, to basically try to prevent their users from uploading copyrighted materials. So you can imagine how bad this is going to be. Apparently, this has been enacted so that they can protect musicians and artists, things like that. You know, even though our own nation states already have our own laws governing copyright, and these companies are already prohibited nationwide from allowing their users to upload copyrighted materials. This is why the DMCA exists. No, instead we need this new law, and it would require these tech firms to scan data being uploaded onto their websites. Now, YouTube already has this system, but it would require even more investment into these systems, which we know do not work. And who knows where this could lead to, because Article 13 won't just stop at copyright. It can be used to also censor people, because then they'll say, well, okay, that person's uploaded a Prince song, therefore this has to be taken off. Then they'll realise, well, this algorithm managed to catch that. Well, what if we can program this algorithm so that we can make it find arguments that maybe the alt-right use? Then they can remove those people who use those arguments or say these things in videos. But then they'll start going after people like me and Sargon and other people like Tim Pool. Even though Tim Pool is American, they probably could still try and attempt to strike his content down if he talks about Europe or something like that. This is really why Article 13 is in effect. The whole copyright thing is a smokescreen. Really, they're trying to make these tech firms create sufficient data analyzing software and algorithms so they can censor people. That's really what it's all about. And so the articles have passed. And this means potentially with Article 11 that memes are now going to be illegal in the EU, because a lot of memes are based on copyrighted material. Even though they are transformative in nature, pretty much every single one, this basically says that, you know, you countries have your own copyright laws. However, sadly, this law can circumvent these. Even though in the EU Parliament they tried to make amendments so that this would not be the case. Yeah, good luck, because the other part of the European Union, the convention, I can't remember their name exactly off the top of my head, sorry about this. They just decided, apart from these little amendments that aren't really important, yeah, all those other very important amendments, yeah, we're not going to use them because that's what they can do. It's not very democratic, Remainers. So memes can potentially be illegal. In fact, they probably will be made illegal, because if you think about it in a fucked up, stupid, crazy kind of way, the EU saw what happened to Hillary Clinton during the 2016 election. Even though the meme war wasn't really a war, it was a battle within the scope of the election. They saw the power that memes have. They saw the power that normal people doing what is essentially political cartooning of Hogarth level type stuff. So if you don't know who Hogarth is, he was a political cartoonist in England during the 1700s. But they saw the effect that these memes had, because they were passing on messages and arguments to people in an easy to digest form. And they realised that they can't be having this because these same means to communicate to people can be used against them. And that's probably why Article 11 and Article 13 have been pushed. However, don't worry, we can still fight, because we can show them that these laws basically are just hard to uphold. What we need to do in Europe, even though Britain probably won't be subject to these laws in the future, hopefully, if we get our act together. But for those of you in Europe, continually post these memes, every single one of you. The meme war is not over. The meme war cannot be over until these people have been beaten. So keep uploading memes, keep sharing these memes, overrun the system, flood it with memes. Show them how hard it is, show them how bad the algorithms are, and also make sure that you don't stop. We can't afford to stop. You can't afford to falter, because if we stop, if any of us stop, if any of you stop, then they've won. You have to make them see that this is not sustainable. It will never work. I mean, it happened to America during Prohibition. It can happen here with memes. Hell, technically speaking, it should have happened with drugs. And that's why a few states in America have since legalised certain drugs. If you keep at it, they will relent, hopefully. Otherwise, you're simply going to have to wait until the EU inevitably collapses due to its own hubris and rules. But what strikes me is when Dankula and Sargon were in there and they were making videos about it and talking to people, it was literally just a big room full of boomers who don't understand the internet, listening to what their public agents say about this. Have you read this? How should I vote? Most of them don't even understand the internet and didn't even read what the articles actually entail, because apparently it's like a 320 word document. They didn't read it. They just basically voted yes. And it was a majority of Tory and Labour MPs from Britain who voted for this, while the Green Party and the UKIP tried to form a coalition against it. And yeah, those boomers in there, they didn't even read it, most of them, except for the ones who are actually trying to push it, like a certain Axel Voss. So basically, in Europe, we've ended up in a kind of episode 3 scene where this is where freedoms die in Europe through rapturous applause, because apparently they were over the moon when it passed. There was cheers in the chambers. Yeah, isn't that just interesting? Basically, in order to become the free, liberal country that they want to create, they're going to become more like China and Iran. Yeah, that's definitely how you should model your democracy, guys. Oh wait, it's not even a democracy. It's like a ass backwards version of the British version of government, only the House of Lords are the ones that are proposing legislation, but the Commons can't even do anything to stop that legislation being passed, and there's no Queen who has the power to actually stop it. So yeah, that's what we have in Europe, in the EU. And yet, there's still people who want to remain in this system. Are you sure? Are you for democracy? Do you think this is not democratic? This isn't even representative democracy. Because in a representative democracy, those MEPs are the ones putting forth legislation for the guys at the top to consider and to say this needs amending. That's what should be happening, but that's not what's happening. There's a group of unelected people who are deciding what laws to create and what laws should be passed. And they don't even need to actually put these amendments in. They don't have to listen to the MEPs. The MEPs are useless. It's nothing more than a veneer for the people to think that they have representation, that they are democratic when they're actually not. But whatever, it's democratic to the Remainers, and it's miles better for their businesses, even though small businesses are going to basically suffer under this, because they either have to find the money to be able to afford these algorithms, or they'll go under. Good luck with that, guys. But anyway, that's the end of the video. Like and subscribe. Share this video. It's important that we share every single video about Article 11 and 13 and to keep sharing those memes. So, yeah, until next time, it's been your boy, and I'll see you later.